Feels like we should just smoke, we should get high.
It's the Heat, SIRIUSXM Mina SayWhat. You are in Mina's house. I am so excited. Khalid is here. He got the gang in here. Everybody, come on, y'all. Let's make some noise.
The gang's all here, folks.
Listen, you're special because
Thank you.
everybody came out for this.
Yeah, I mean, and these are all my people, so I got to bring them with me. You know?
Love that. Love that. So Sincere, your third album is out right now. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's been about 5 years, and I know you've grown a lot. So how has this experience been releasing this music as opposed to some of the music that you've released before?
It's fun. I mean, I feel like with this album, my intention was to really please my bass and go back to my basics as an artist and as a songwriter, and I really love it. You know, when I dropped the album, I did my first show for it in Sydney, Australia. And
I saw that.
Put the tickets on sale, and they bought them in like a week, and I go out there and I'm performing these songs that I mean, the oldest song that I wrote was from like 2020. So to be able
wow.
yeah, crazy. So to be able to hold on to that music for so long and to be performing it for these people and to still be embraced with so much love and so much warmth is, yeah, it's really awesome.
Why Australia?
Because Australia, actually, it's been 5 years since I've done a show in Australia.
Okay.
And the Australia-New Zealand district area of the world was actually the first time I did some of my biggest shows. It was the first time I ever sold out an arena. It was in New Zealand. In Australia, Sydney is one of my biggest markets. They play my music a lot, like some of the most. And I feel like nobody really takes time to go to Australia because the flight is like 15 hours and you're just like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know,
you want to show them a little
but
love.
they love music too.
Right.
So.
You know, we're worldwide here, so shout out to all the Australians
shout
checking
out to y'all
in.
in Australia.
So your music has been very youthful in the past. Even the titles of your album, American Teen, you know, Free Spirit, and then now you have Sincere. How did you come to that?
Because I wrote a song on that album that, to me, was one of my favorite experiences to write, and that was the title track. That was Sincere. Because I spent time thinking about, okay, well, what do I name this album? And I'm like in Dubai, walking down the street, and I'm thinking of all these different names, and I'm thinking, but I knew for sure I didn't want it to be a self-titled track. We're not there yet.
Right.
We got some time.
Right.
But Sincere was just that song I kept playing on repeat, just boom, boom, boom. And I was like, this is perfect, because being sincere, being down to earth, you know, being human is something I really appreciate about myself. So I felt like it was the perfect name.
So you sampled one of my favorite Alicia Keys songs on one of these songs, Unthinkable, which that song just gives me tingles. So when I heard the sample on your song, which is called Please Don't Fall in Love with Me, I got those tingles all over again. Was that why you chose the song, or was it just you were drawn to the song and the sample was there already?
I feel like Alicia Keys and I not only have a friendship, but we have a musical relationship and a friendship. I've been on a couple of her songs as well. She's gifted me with that experience, and I did an EP in 2021, and she introed it. And it's just one of those full circle moments where I love collaborating with my friends and people I vibe with and people I love. And that is a classic record, you know, Alicia Keys and Drake. It's super classic, and it's one of my favorite songs. And so even just using it sparsely for a moment to me was just an ode to that nostalgia, my youth.
That's why Drake is listed as a writer as well, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Drake got a little song credit there. I see it. So Heat Stroke. Yeah. I think this is the perfect song for us to have you here for, because it literally is our vibe, our channel. I just, you know, driving up here, I live in Jersey. Yeah. So driving up here, it's that like I want to drive to it song. It makes me feel zen and peaceful, but the lyrics are literally about like trying to hold on to something while you're burning, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I agree. So that song, I mean, in a lot of my lyrics, if you go back and you listen to some of my songs, there always is this melancholic drive and center focus of the music. I think that's where I thrive in. I was writing that song theoretically in nature, but it was just so fun. I was like, this, even though it talks about holding on to these last moments with the
Right.
one that you love. It speaks about it in a way where you're grateful for that experience. And if this is just going to happen, why don't we just let go together? So
Right.
I think it has a beautiful message. And although it speaks about the heat, it takes you to the beach. So if you're in
I
the
love
North
that.
Country and you want, want a little sunshine in your pocket, just play that song right there.
I love how you're just talking in lyric. Like, this is a true songwriter. Go ahead,
Thank you.
introduce your song.
Hey, what's up? I'm Khalid, and this one right here is called Heat Stroke.
It's on the Heat SiriusXM. We're with Khalid on the way.
What if I told you the sun was coming closer?
It's the Heat SiriusXM. Mina SayWhat talking to Khalid here
What's going
in
on?
Mina's house. It's very hot in Mina's house. We need to upgrade the AC because there's a lot of
Talk
people
about
here.
heat stroke, huh?
Right. Your new song, which we just played, I love it.
Thank you.
It fits our vibe. You know, I was going through the comments. I'm a comment searcher.
Right.
I form my opinion on whatever it is that I'm intaking, and then I go in the comments and see what the trolls and everybody is saying. But I found a beautiful comment about your album in general online. Your album healed me. Did you see that?
Yes.
How does that make you feel that you can do that for someone through your music?
It's my favorite part about my job.
Right.
It's what I do this for. It's my first intention is to help and heal others with my music and with my voice. I feel like my fans and we have a really personal connection when it comes down to these songs and these lyrics. And so for people to say that I heal them is an honor that I don't take for granted. People are born to my music. I say this all the time, but people are born to my music. They live, they die, they thrive. They go through challenges, they persevere through my music. So it's just incredible, and it's a gift, and it comes really rare. So it's something that you gotta appreciate. You know, can't take it for granted. So I love that.
What is your singular intention for the people that are listening to your music when you're making it?
My singular intention is to speak for the ones who feel like they're not being heard enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just got chills. Did y'all get chills? Because I wanted to kind of talk about your journey a little bit because, so I want to rewind. You wrote Location and a lot of that music from American Teen in high school.
Yeah.
Who does that in high school?
I mean, it's one of those things that if someone asked me, hey, how did you write Location? I'm going to look at them and be like, I don't know. It's like it just came with the wind. It was one of those moments where I'm in the studio and I'm at my end and I'm like, okay, I want to stop. But then something in me is like, you still have a song inside of you. You got to get it out. And I played the first beat on the beat pack. Well, like not the first beat, but the last beat of the first pack. And I heard the intro and I sang the hook. I took it back home and I played it for my friend. It was just the hook. There were no verses. I told my friend, I said, this is it. This is the one.
Oh, so you felt it.
Immediately.
Wow. In high
"This is the
school.
one."
That's
Yeah.
the part.
Yeah. Yeah.
In high school.
I'm sitting in like his
I didn't
like
even know what I was going to do with my life in high school. You're writing like
Yeah, it's crazy.
top 10 number one songs in high school here.
I'm sitting in his like Mazda and I'm just like looking at him
Not
like,
the
bro.
Mazda.
I'm like, bro.
This is it.
I'm like, I need to return my Kia after this one right here.
Right.
Because this one is the one.
Because your debut album came out kind of like a couple of weeks after your graduation. So in really thinking about your journey and putting it in perspective, you're in high school, which people are still, it's a formative time in your life and you formed already. You're here, you've arrived.
Yeah.
And then your second album comes out in like the beginning of your 20s. And now you're like mid 20s. There's a lot of change
So much.
that
actually.
happens throughout that time.
Yeah,
so
so much.
musically, how do you feel? Do you feel the pressure to create that same kind of youthful vibe, or is there a maturity and a progression?
I feel like I just chase where the music calls me. American Teen was literally that.
Right.
So for me, when people are like, make an American Teen 2, I'm like, do you really want that? from
Well,
a
you're not even
26-year-old?
there anymore.
Do you really want to hear about high school from a 26-year-old? In my opinion, it's a little creepy.
Right.
I don't know. I don't
Right.
want to hear about. It's like one of those kids that like don't let go of high school and they just like always come back. I'm like, why are you here? You graduated like 4 years ago.
Creep.
What are you doing? They're like, hey, Miss Clarkson. I'm like, what are you doing?
Not
here?
Mix Clarkson.
I just pulled that name out of nowhere. I don't know. Shout out to you, Miss Clarkson, wherever you are. But yeah, for me, you know, American Teen was exactly that. I was an American teen through that process. I started it at 17. I probably finished that album around 18. It gets released when I'm 19. And Free Spirit, I was like 21.
Right.
It's like one of the most free years of your life because you're just like, hey, I'm 21. Let's go buy shots on me.
Right. But you ain't got it. Your tank's on E.
But you ain't got it. Your tank's on, you know what I mean?
Right.
Gas tank. Okay. But and then with Sincere, it's like, well, okay, I've taken all this time back, and what are the reasons that I took all this time back? And it's because I had to take some time to practice the artist that I truly wanted to be in this world. Like, what are the music? What are the topics? What are the songs that I want to sing about? And that takes time. You gotta really learn. You have your entire life to write your first album.
Right.
But with the next few, you're on a time crunch. And for me, I'm like, the oldest song on Sincere is from 2020, and the newest song from Sincere is from 2024. So, but there's tons of songs that happen in the middle of that as well, and there's tons of music that hasn't been released.
So I want to know the song that you love that has been like a charting song. Which one is your baby?
I'm gonna have to go with Better.
Me too.
I'm gonna have to go with Better.
Yes, that's my favorite.
I'm gonna have to go with Better.
And look, everybody plays Location and Talk, and those are great songs.
Yeah, I agree.
But Better, for me, I don't know why it just hits different. So why do you love it? Because this isn't even about why I love it. Why do you love it?
I'm like getting the chills talking about this song. I love it so much because it was so free.
Yeah.
I freestyled that song on the mic, actually. It took me 5 to 10 minutes to write Better. And it was one of those songs that just came in the wind that I almost even didn't appreciate it when I had it. But I feel like I knew. I wrote Better the same week or the same 2 weeks distance from when I wrote Talk. So those happened kind of back to back, which is crazy, right? But the sentence, nothing feels better than this, singing that to a crowd of thousands of people and they're singing it right back at you really makes you take in that moment and think, wow, like, look at everything that I've achieved in my life at this age. Like, nothing truly feels better than this. It's that kickback song. You play with your people, you vibe, you can dance. I mean, I've never performed that song and seen anyone in the crowd like,
I'm mad. Right. It's impossible. It's a beautiful song.
So I love that song.
All right, let's play it now. Better here on The Heat. Khalid, we're going to wrap up on the way. It's The Heat, SiriusXM.
I'm good on the side, it's alright, just hold me.
It's The Heat, SiriusXM. Mina SayWhat. Khalid, you're a lot because they're taking you from me, and you know we have a lot of stations here, and you got to go. I wish I had more time, but I really wanted to know if you're going on tour to promote Sincere, your third album.
I will say that more shows are in the works.
Okay.
More shows are in the works.
Okay, so
you know
maybe.
what? Like I would really love to tour this album. Truthfully and honestly, I would really love to tour this album. So I feel like we all just have to wait and see.
Yeah, you went on tour with Ed Sheeran, right?
I did, and it was awesome.
So I'm sure like this tour after going on tour with Ed Sheeran is gonna be like, wow, oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't wrap up without talking about this. I almost forgot. I went to Brooklyn and I saw you perform. It was a random night, right?
Oh, crazy.
Man, I love your performance.
Thank you.
I love the dancers, the aesthetic. I love how I feel like I'm part of your gang somehow.
Yeah.
And you guys, I felt like I was watching a musical. It was kind of weird. I love the aesthetic,
Yeah,
you know,
thank you.
and I just wanted to say that. We have to wrap up, I know, but I can't wait for your tour. I have seen you live, and I just loved kind of like the synergy that you have with your dancers and how it creates a story.
Yeah.
And it's not just like they're doing 1 and 2 and 3 in the background. It's like they're telling the story and dance.
We're all here together.
Right.
We're all here together.
Yes. All right. That's a perfect note to wrap up. Khalid, wrapping up here on The Heat, SiriusXM. It's Mina's
Thank
house.
you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Khalid.
Yeah.
Whatever you like, sit back and fantasize.